Welcome to the Clarity Advisor Show, where you'll learn how to grow your team today. Join Ken Trupke and his guests as they discuss what works and doesn't work to grow your team in today's world. And now, your host, Ken Trupke.
Hello, and welcome to the Clarity Advisor Show. There are literally thousands of books on the topic of leadership. And while an organization is only as good as its leaders, it's also only as good as its followers. It's the followers who accomplish goals under a leader's direction and help achieve the leader's vision. When a business has good followers, they tend to have more effective delegation, a sense of shared responsibility, a culture of support, and ultimately better outcomes because effective teams get things done. So who are the followers? Well, pretty much everyone in business. Especially in the early stages of your career, you'll typically do much more following than leading. And over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle stated that he who cannot be a good follower cannot be a good leader. Because even when you are a leader, you're typically also on a team where you're not the leader. So whether or not you aspire to leadership, it's essential that you learn how to follow well. So here are my top 4 characteristics of good followers. Number 1, humility. Good followers are truly team players. They recognize that success is about achieving the goal, not about your personal recognition. You understand that no matter how simple or complicated, easy or hard something is, it's all necessary, and therefore it's all important. It's not equally important, but it is all important. It all needs to get done or it wouldn't be on the list of things to do. So you've got to have the humility to accept that your role might be what you consider less important, or that if someone else has a role that you consider less important, that you still give it the respect and know that it still needs to be done, because without it, we're going to have an incomplete project. You acknowledge when others have great ideas and you support them by making sure that they're being heard. When a leader assigns tasks, you respect those decisions, accept your role and the roles of others on the team. You don't go immediately lobbying to try to get a different role or try to trade with somebody on the team for roles. You accept the leader's decisions and delegations and move forward with humility. And while you might enjoy coaching, teaching, and helping your coworkers, a great follower is willing to accept being taught, being helped, and being coached. Okay, number 1, humility. Number 2, characteristic of a good follower, teamwork. Good followers recognize that there are no winners on a losing team. No one wins unless everyone wins. That is, you accomplish the team goal, not just your individual piece. You need to have a group mindset and look for ways to work together to get things done. You share information and solve problems as a team. You can't just keep things to yourself or try to go off in a corner and figure things out and then come back as the hero. You want to focus on doing your work, but you want to make sure you're communicating with the team, letting them know where you're at and finding out where they're at so that you might be able to step in and help. You're flexible with your role and adapt to whatever the team needs to win. This is a whatever it takes mindset. And finally, you pitch in and help out where needed. A good follower never says, "That's not my job." Now, do your job first before you jump in and start helping other people, but make sure your mindset is one of, hey, whatever needs to be done to win, that's what I'm going to do. So number 2, teamwork. Number 3, work ethic. Strong followers excel even when you're not in charge, especially when you're not in charge. You've still got to do the work. You're drafting in underneath a leader who has set a vision and assigned roles, and you need to go at it as hard as if it was you setting those things. Take initiative. Don't wait to be told what to do. Perform tasks with energy and enthusiasm. Just generally work hard. and be accountable to your leader and to your teammates for your work. Okay, my fourth and final characteristic of a good follower, loyalty. Through your words and actions, you show you're aligned with and loyal to the team's mission and the leader's vision. You don't undermine or compete with the leader or the mission. You defend your leader when people are talking behind their back, especially among the team. If there's what I would consider gossip among the team about the leader or about the leader's decisions, you step in and say, guys, if we've got something negative to talk about, let's have the respect to take that to that leader. Or I will, because this gossiping is just going to undermine our ability to win. And you want to win. So as a follower, you've got to defend that leader. And if it's outside your team, just like with a family, don't let people talk bad about your leader. They're ultimately disrespecting your team as well. So stand up for yourself and stand up for that leader, especially when they're not there. That's what you would want as a leader, and that's what your leader is going to want. But all that said, you can definitely give negative feedback to a leader or to other teammates. In fact, you have a responsibility to do that. When your leader is making a mistake, or worse, if they're doing something unethical, you have a responsibility to respectfully challenge them. Make sure it's respectful, but make sure you do it. And ultimately, you've got to be loyal to the greater organization ahead of even that leader. So if something's damaging to the organization, you can't protect your leader and put the organization at risk. If necessary, you've got to take those concerns up the chain to a higher level of leadership. You've got to be loyal to the organization first, then to your leader. So there you go, my 4 characteristics of a good follower. Number 1, humility. Number 2, teamwork. Number 3, work ethic. Number 4, loyalty. Learning to be a good follower sets you up to have perspective for future leadership opportunities. And if you're currently a leader, again, you're probably also currently a follower, and becoming a better follower is going to make you a better leader in your current leadership role. So you may be more inclined to lead or more inclined to follow naturally, but each of these, leadership and followership, are skills that can be learned and improved. Like leadership, there are lots of resources about following well. I'll link to some of those in the show notes, including works by Ira Chaliff and Robert Kelly that I used. That brings us to the end of another Clarity Advisors show. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would be so kind, please leave a 5-star review on the platform you are listening or watching right now, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the Clarity Advisors show. Clarity Advisors is a speaking, training, and consulting firm specializing in helping you simplify your sales and operating systems to improve efficiency and grow your profits. Connect with Clarity Advisors today to learn more about how they can help you improve communication and get your team aligned and engaged for greater success.